Hey, welcome back, and thank you for all of your favorable comments and ideas that you've been sending us here at TAM. We're glad to know you're out there. As you know, some of the theme here at TAM from time to time is a little gritty. We can ride the edge of the side that no one wants to see with some topics, and we dare admit from time to time what others know but hide from as well. One thing we've always done, though, is to be able to build our position on a common foundation of standard and principles, basically rooted in natural law. We've placed our ideas in truth. Since we've been placing our ideas into the public square for discussion and consideration, there's been a diverse response, sometimes to the delight of many and then to the consternation of some at other times. We just refuse to go over the edge with the crowd, that's all. That being what it is, we'd like to enter into a place that hopefully we can again find common ground outside of race or political party. Let's ask you this. Can you remember the last time you ever saw the government workforce sector shrink or get paid less? With your money? That's where we're going to begin. This discussion centers around money, the root of all evil, as the cliche extols. Money's become a problem. And to broaden that statement, let's look at a few facts from the recent months. Here's a good one for you. Let's call it fact number 1. We, the people, are broke. We're broke in more ways than one, but we want to focus on monetary aspect of this idea for discussion's sake. Let's look at last February's retail consumer spending numbers that surprised everyone when they dropped from the month before. Of course, America received their stimulus check in January, so the retail sales boomed then. The February number is not a good sign, and that's why we bring it up. It shows that without a boost in our personal bank account, we don't have the money to buy all the crap China needs us to. When we couple that with the fact that, now get this, 27% of all American income is being derived at present from the federal government, meaning 27% of all the money made in America is coming from the federal government. It kind of takes a new light, doesn't it? The money is a godsend for many and a curse for us all, though. As good as it might seem at first glance, creating money out of thin air does not bring prosperity. We've seen this type of massive money printing in the past, and it did not end well then either. It ended with an explosion overnight of hyperinflation, sending a loaf of bread to what would be in the American money hundreds of thousands of dollars. Currently, in our economy, there is a hidden 9% core inflation buildup taking place in the raw materials sector. Raw materials are used to produce the crap that you and I buy, okay? Core food cost inflation is setting in as well. Of course, I'm not telling you folks anything that you don't already know. You're feeling the pinch when you shop, and it's not your imagination. The volume of a bag of chips or bottle of your favorite soda continues to get smaller, and the price you're paying for it keeps going up. Your money is stretching thinner and thinner. Gas prices are almost up to $3 a gallon. Eggs are getting more expensive. So is milk, bread, bacon, beer, and everything you need, or dare I say want. Problem is, if you're lucky enough to have a way to earn an income from work, your pay is not keeping up with the inflation and the rising prices for the basics. Unemployment's still running in historic high ranges, and the pressure of millions of newly arrived migrants will add additional pressure to the workforce. Mandatory minimum wage increases will invariably force businesses to either overinflate the cost of their product that you and I pay for, or they're simply going to lay off workforce and modernize to permanently eliminate the jobs. Look at Sam's, Walmart, Amazon, Ford, and on and on and on. Less than 40% of Americans have $500 to put back in savings for a rainy day. Did you know that? Significantly far fewer have $1,000 in the bank. Housing costs are going through the roof, with transitory pressure from people evacuating the socialist states of the North and the West. 1,000, count them, new Floridians a day, now will be coveting for the same slice of the pie as others flock here to the great state of Florida. Lumber prices are at all-time highs, and the cost to build a house to meet inventory demand is going to price the average Floridian out of the market. We've been warning about this trend with Booker Park, Banner Lakes, Rio, Golden Gate. You see, people with money will buy the homes there. Then the people that are living there will need to find a place to live, and it won't be in the same place they just packed up from either. The inflationary pressure actually will have an impact on the potential for gentrifying parts of this county. The place in the world that was America when I was a boy growing up in Illinois was not dissimilar to what we're entering into now. The 1970s were a time of great economic upheaval and inflation. We were a family of 6 then, my father working 2 jobs to make sure there was food, milk, and a new something for Mom every once in a while. We had an advantage then, though. We were a traditional American family. We had a father that worked, a mother that babysat to make money and stay with the kids to make sure we didn't end up in more trouble than we did already. We had each other. When you look at the single-parent family rates among our neighbors younger in year, it's scary. If it's near impossible for a 2-parent home today, the stress for a single parent has to be incredible. Daycare costs, medical costs continue to increase as well, even with the big government promises of less expensive and open to all. Government is making it worse. We need to look to local churches and civic groups to once again begin organizing a true citizen safety net, because the government is not a net and it is not safe. Look, let's face it, we can't expect the United States to continue printing money so we can have our Netflix and rims, okay? It'll run out of value in the near term. You see, it used to be that people that paid taxes were the ones that had their money go out to those who were in need. Neighbor helping neighbor, sorta. Then those dollars dried up, and they asked for more and more and more until, well, there is no more, or we're just not given. We've begun just printing it into existence. All sorts of extravagant promises could be made back when there were 10 workers paying taxes to support each retiree or state dependent. Now that we're down to less than two full-time workers for each retiree or state dependent, the promises are impossible to keep. With the one exception of printing the trillions of dollars that were anticipated to pay in taxes, that is, creating near infinite sums of funny money out of thin air and hoping the rest of the world will continue to accept it. History doesn't have any examples of that working, but hey, we're special and this time it's different. A massive devaluation, kids, is just around the corner. There are more people with the need for a money bump from Uncle Sam than there are working people that can be taxed to give to the big pot. So where does the money come from? They print it, making the pie that much larger, and your slice continues to shrink as the pie gets larger and larger. The separation of the haves and the have-nots is about to do away with those in the middle. If ever there was a time for people to see the need for each other, this is it. If anyone thinks for a minute that the grant machine and the river of free money is not going to dry up and blow away, well, you, my good friend, will be one of the first to suffer the hardest. If it's your local or county government that's still plain spend other people's money, then you better tell them to stop it. The end to this current American chapter we are all living in draws closer to her end. A dramatically new one will soon begin, and the starting place for it is not honey and sunshine either. Prepare now for your tomorrow. It'll be here, whether you're ready for it or not. Just a thought, but removing the blindfold might be a good idea here. The edge is crumbling and the bottom is a long way down. More to follow. Stand by.